Hello everybody, I'm back again. This is my second game of fan casting, the Conquest versus 5 Minute Boys Grand Finals of the DACH region. DACH spelled D-A-C-H. Once again, that is for the Germany, Austria, and Switzerland region. So, in the blue, we have Conquest. In the red, we have 5 Minute Boys. I would like to reiterate that I said it in my last cast. The colors are assigned to each team, not by who's attacking and who's defending. So when 5 Minute Boys goes to offense, they will be red once again. So Psychic Link gets banned out by the offense. It is very much a defender card. It can be used by the offense to gain info, but it lets the defense know, hey, people are pushing here, so it's mainly a defense card. Rapid Fire Marksman banned by 5 Minute Boys. That makes complete sense. All the high-end cards, I would say, are taken off the table. Safety Glass is left because it's mainly a counter pick card. IP Theft, I think, is ironically the best pickup out of everything here. Despite the fact that attackers decide to choose Expert Juggler. Expert Juggler is a very good card. Anything that just gives you raw stat increases, like the crouching one that reduces your recoil by 10% and your damage taken by 20%. Anything that's just raw statage increase is good. But because both teams like to rock nitros, we got Rockstars on a broker. IP Theft, especially against broker, is very, very good at stealing his bombs that he likes to lay on the ground. Speaking of which, he has not thrown those yet. So, what we have on this defense side, a 2-2-1 split with Hollow Point being the one covering B main. I call it B main, although it's B puddle on the map. No fast take yet. Looks like we do have Treason once again on this Dex. He fragged out hard with it last game. Arguably carried, but his entire team performed well. He was just the one that always found that gap in the coverage from the defense. Rockstars over here, speaking of gap in the coverage, taking 123 damage from straight util, might have gotten hit by a nade from Page. Still playing up on the angle. Util dump, but that must have been the nade that he got hit by. Rockstar still playing up aggressively though. The IP Theft seems to not be gaining too much value on the defender side yet. True fall going down on the E site, and not much trade back. They're still very healthy on Conquest. Hopefully, it's not just a complete, how do I say this, a shutout like the first game. It wasn't a shutout technically, but only putting one up on the board, it's a little rough. I do want to see 5 Minute Boys fight back quite a bit. I want this series to go the distance because, well, I just want to see more of this game get played. Akurum and Rockstars. Rockstars was the one that was put down to 23 HP or 27 HP earlier. Got healed up by the pathogen, but it's still a 2v5. Now it's a 1v5. What is this angle by MX over here? MXKX, who I will be nicknaming MX. I did not know myself that you could just hang yourself right here and not pop up. And Rockstars was gonna try and save, I like to think, but gets picked off by Page. Speaking of Page, on the Conquest side of things, we have Page, right? Treason. 6 Clarity, who I did not properly introduce last round. Last game, I meant. Because I introduced F82 twice. And Twitch MXKX. On the side of 5 Minute Boys, we have Birion, Break, Rockstars 42. I'm going to wait for him to come back up. Akurum, and FNB Thraxis. Did I just say Thraxis? Braxis. Who is, once again, on this Hollow Point. I don't remember if Conquest had anybody that heard or had any inclination to be picking up the Hollow Point on their team. The setups for this defense side, they rotate the Hollow Point away from B side. There's nobody watching B puddle whatsoever right now. I assume they have some util there though. To cover it, they move the Hollow Point over, trying to get a cheeky pick. On this A site, did not get it. Did not take any damage though. No damage, not even by any util. Traded on the other side. I want to see how Treason does. Treason has already been forced out of his double. As you can see on the left, he is already been expended, which is good. It stops him from being able to push up like he usually does. I say that, but he just does it anyway in the main body. Does not need a double. His extra armor saving him there. Gets a refrag. Does Braxis, only to get traded back. 4v2. Conquest making as much of a name for themselves as they did in the last game. Should I say last game or last set? I consider, I think it should be like rounds, and the rounds are in a game, and the games are in a set, maybe? I want to use the same verbiage so it's not as confusing. MX makes his way on the side with a Corona. Gets another pick up top, and this is just a 4v1. On this site, or on this map in general, I do believe both sides are defender-sided. Much more balanced than it used to be ever since the map got updated, but I still do believe it is a defender-sided map. However, if you are able to plant the bomb and get control on offense, the defender-sidedness kind of goes in your favor of you are also able to hold the site, and it is very hard for defense to recapture their own site, as I don't believe Akurum will be making an effort to do so. I believe he's just trying to get a cheeky pick to, I would say, ruin the econ a little bit, or affect the econ of the attacking side, even though the econ in this game isn't really money-based, it is guns-based, so it is an econ of the sense. And he does save the rifle. So going into the starting round, I assume offense will be banning this fragile converter. I'm not, maybe defense bans the doctor converter. No, not the doctor converter, okay. But offense ban was on point. There's the only ban that that affects them specifically. I don't like what offense just did here, unless they are obviously big braining in a way I'm not thinking of. So I don't like picking up the Doctor Converter first, because you can pick up something else first. You know defense isn't gonna pick Doctor Converter, right? Because defense gets no use from Doctor Converter. In fact, they're giving you help if they pick Doctor Converter for you. So you can pick something else, pass it to defense, and then pick Doctor Converter when it comes back to you. Because you know they're not going to pick it. That's why I do with cards that you know they're not going to pick. But Conquest just saving. They, I believe, had 6.9 points. Nice. A nice amount of points in their bag. So they probably looked at Hyperkinetic Bullet, Turtle Bag, and say, you know what? You guys dumped everything? We're just going to save it. Oh! Braxis was solo B-side. Went to A side last round, and now decided to push up mid. Very close. 2 HP on Clarity. Heartbreaking. If they want, sometimes you just need a big break. You just want that big break to get the round started. I do like what Treason does. If you guys don't notice what Treason does, when he pushes up with his clone, he pushes up with a one-shot gun or something that equalizes the fact that he has 20 HP. Usually, like a sniper rifle pushing up mid with it, to make the enemy one shot while he is also one shot. And once he gets forced out of his clone form, he has a gun drop from the round, the prep phase of the round, on his body, like an AR, LMG, so he can push up with it in his normal form. Fortunately, I was gonna say for Barian, he is kind of getting dumpstered on site. He's just being, how to say this, the offense kind of threw themselves like utility on him. They Mother Russia'd it and just threw bodies at him. All three offense members are behind one piece of cover. Their crossfire is nice. Loses. Unfortunately, it was good for them there. It was confusing for me who exactly won the trade to make it a 2v1, but 5 Minute Boys put it into a 2v1 and lost it 2-6 Clarity, clutching up 22 HP, 21 more HP more than he needed at the end there. Quite frankly, I thought FMB had that. Oh well, we see Feral Hogs getting banned by 5 Minute Boys. Very good for offense. And I do believe, other than Ironheads, to be the best card here. Vulnerable A site banned by Conquest. Vulnerability for the sites A and B, as well as the healing zones. For site A and B, very, very powerful. Just passive numbers, right? Like I said before, anything that just gives you passive stats are good. We saw how much work Dr. Converter did that game. Dr. Converter arguably was the MVP on the last round. I said game again, didn't I? They had I believe two people at one-shot or one-shot headshot range on Conquest, and Dr. Converter healed them up before they got the plant off. Now, I'm surprised that 5 Minute Voice takes Jump Shot Expert and Scanner Interference instead of taking Jump Shot Expert and Weak Jumps, because, well, Weak Jumps is an attempt to counter Jump Shot Expert. So you obviously want to take that off the table while you take Jump Shot Expert. MX takes first, not blood as in a kill, but first blood as in, how about this, first damage. So he drops at 50 HP. There is no pathogen on the offense side to correct those wrongs, to fix that damage up. Cold Front goes through. If you don't know what Cold Front does, after a certain amount of time, the Cold Front hits the battlefield and disables the traps. After a certain amount of time, the Cold Front will dissipate and traps will reactivate. This is probably the time where Conquest wants to be making this push. We have a Lurk coming from 6 Clarity. I might just call him Clarity from now on. I will indeed. Coming from the defense side, spawn. Looks like Kurum is privy to this flank. Somehow, his sixth sense, either that or they got picked up on information. On intel. Here comes the attack. The execute onto site. Kurum picks one back up. 4v2 in favor of 5 Minute Boys. They're trying to put one on the board. Takes one back, but F8. Contesting multiple angles, revealed, util thrown at. That's a very hard 3v1. I'm not even sure it would be possible. So, ironically, break on the Circuit, flanked from offense spawn. The Conquest Circuit, flanked from defense spawn. And that was the success and failure of either of them really decided the match. Both teams banning long dash. Hey, if you see long dash in your ranked games, ban it or pick it. It may not seem like much on paper. Trust me, it's insane mobility. There is some insane cards here being used. So Conquest on offense picks Vampire Knight first. Not countered, but contested by Health Club by 5 Minute Boy. So everybody on this field, on both teams right now, having more than the starting health total. Braxis may consider swapping off the Hollow Point. Looks like not, because there is no one-shot potential to the body, at least, from her Meteora. Unless the damage gets done first. Projectile scan on 5 Minute Boys while Kurum is playing Axon is quite insane. That just means he has recharging base 12 projectiles that all have a advanced UAV attached to them. And Foot Dragging somehow last card picked by Conquest. That tells you how good the cards were throughout the rest of the pick bans. That Foot Dragging, of all things, was the last one. Circuit gain value. Here's the footsteps and doubles back. Here's the other Circuit lurking A. That might be a red herring that defense does not want now. He might have Break might have called to the rest of his squad. Hey yo, there's still a person A. They're not rotating. I hear them. I see them. No, there was 4 people on the B side. Getting ready to execute. Picks one back up, does a Kurum. The reveals are coming through from this projectile scan. The value is there. Clarity gets one back. 162 dealt to Treason. It does fall in the end, but Paige cleans up. I thought 5 Minute Boys had that in the bag. It was a 3v3. All intel was there. 6 Clarity. Revealed in a 2v1 almost wins, almost just straight wins the 2v1 at minimum trades. As we go into the side switch, I don't like the fact that Conquest, or I don't like it for 5 Minute Boys that they went 4-1 against them on what I would consider a defense-sided map. Now, you may not consider it that way, and that's fine. I could very well be wrong. But I do believe, was Aket? I almost called it Nous to be a defender-sided map. Alright, 5 points to either side, and 5 shard points spent by either side. Dragon's Breath picked up by Conquest on the defense. Dragon's Breath is usually a side the offense wants to pick up when, well, they want to just run you down with shotguns, but it went through for sustained exposure. That makes sense, that is reasonable, and Chain Lightning gets through on the defense side as the last card. So again, just shows you how much priority goes to the rest. Break. Using Cirquette's amazing intel gathering. She basically gets 2 Rainbow Six Siege drones attached to her first ability. Finds the Dex double. On defense, FB2 decides not to be running shotguns with the rest of his squad. Neither does MX. They want to be able to play range. But Treason in A6, as I think we've seen so far, really enjoys getting up close and pro. Treason says screw the fact that it's a double, or that he got knocked out of his double, or I think he took himself out of his double. Says I want the HP now. Pops his shield, runs up to take the fight, almost trades. The Dragon's Breath rounds almost finished off Rockstars, who I believe has played Broker every single round so far. Hey, if you know how to play them, if you know the ins and outs, why not? And although it has been working per se, it doesn't mean that's the reason it's not. It doesn't mean that that's the reason you're not winning the rounds, no. And it's very good to stick your comfort. In fact, it's good to stick to your guns. All 5 members of 5 Minute Boys pushing up through what I would call a mid. It's not actually a mid, it's patio, but I call it a mid because it's A going to mid, but it's not really A short. 2 get picked right off the bat as a spray through the smoke. There's only 1 left in the form of Praxis, and unfortunately, that's what happens when you risk it all going through a single point of the map with your entire team. You do open yourself up to not only all those angles, you give up the rest of map control. You give up the control of every other lane of the map for that one lane that you are trying to barrel your way down. It can work, trust me, it can. But it could also backfire in your face like that freeze bullets picked up for 5 Minute Boys. Ending with From the Shadows. Open Your Big Trap picked up by Conquest, who, Paige, I was just about to say, I bet Rockstars would have loved Open Your Big Trap, playing the Broker every single round. If it sounds sarcastic that I keep saying, like, he only plays Broker right now, it's not, I assure you it's not. It may sound like I'm being sarcastic, that's just my voice. No, I firmly do believe that if you know how to play a person, I mean, he's not even doing that bad, he's 4-6, so I don't believe that's the reason he's losing, or they're losing. He would have loved big traps here, but Paige, and thinking the same thing, swaps to Broker themselves because of it, I assume because of it. 6 Clarity gets hit by 100 damage, what is it, I'm sorry, Kismet Nade. Very strong piece of util. If you don't know, Kismet nades hit through walls, so if you're dealing with a pesky Nitro turret, and you can hit it through the wall, like on the other side of a thin wall, you can. The damage goes through. FA2 is the only one with any coverage on B right now, but rightfully so, just matching Braxis. They're both lurking on the other side of the map. Kurum gets the first pick, good for 5 Minute Boys right now, being exposed by the Haunting. Defense should have pretty good information of what's going on here. MX could have at least seen 2, maybe 3, maybe even had the information on 4, and before he died. Paige about to go nuclear with this rocket launcher. Gets 1, I'm pretty sure his landmines just got a kill. Another round in the rocket launch. Somehow he doesn't get any with that one, and it doesn't matter. All through the same choke point, and they just line up. As Conquest going up 2-0 in this series. He did indeed get a kill with his landmine. Alright. GG to Conquest. I will see you all in Game 3.